time I crawled across the stage and hit my shoe on this guy's bare foot as hard as I could, and then went.
Few stars have left as deep and genuine a mark on Hollywood as Sally Field. For over 5 decades, she's been a symbol of strength, vulnerability, and authenticity. From Gidget to Norma Ray, Steel Magnolias, and Forrest Gump, she has done more than just entertain. She's made audiences feel, but behind the laughter and applause lies a life marked by quiet battles, resilience, and hard-won wisdom. Today, as whispers about her health circulate, fans around the world are reflecting on the woman who gave everything to her craft and wondering what she's facing now. Early life and pain. Behind the smile, Sally Field was born on November 6, 1946 in Pasadena, California. Her mother, Margaret Field, was an actress, and her father, Richard Field, a World War II veteran turned pharmacist. When her parents divorced, Sally was still a child. Soon after, her mother married Jock Mahoney, a famous stuntman and actor. On the outside, Sally's childhood seemed normal. She was a cheerful cheerleader at Birmingham High School and loved by her classmates, which included future stars like Cindy Williams. But behind the smiles, her home life was painful and confusing. In her 2018 memoir, In Pieces, Sally courageously opened up about trauma she endured growing up. Her honesty wasn't for sympathy, it was for truth and healing. For years, she carried the pain in silence, turning to acting as her way of escape and expression. Breaking into Hollywood. Sally's first big break came with the light-hearted 1960s sitcom Gidget. America instantly fell in love with her sunny smile and natural charm. Then came The Flying Nun, a show that made her a household name. Yet, despite her success, Sally longed for something deeper. She wanted to be taken seriously as an actress. In the mid-1970s, she found that breakthrough role in the TV movie Sybil, 1976, playing a woman with multiple personalities. The performance stunned critics and won her an Emmy. It was the turning point of her career. Suddenly, Sally Field wasn't just the cute TV girl anymore. She was a powerhouse performer. Then came Norma Ray in 1979. Her portrayal of a small-town factory worker fighting for labor rights earned her the Academy Award for Best Actress. 5 years later, she won another Oscar for Places in the Heart. From that moment, Sally became a symbol of resilience and quiet strength, both on-screen and off. Hollywood's hidden struggles. For all her success, Hollywood was not always kind to Sally Field. In interviews and her memoir, she revealed the emotional toll of being a young woman in an industry often driven by power imbalances. She faced uncomfortable situations during auditions and moments when she was made to question her worth. But unlike many who stayed silent, Sally eventually chose to speak her truth. Her willingness to share the uncomfortable parts of her journey inspired countless women in the entertainment world and beyond. She wasn't just acting out bravery on screen, she was living it. Motherhood, marriage, and the price of fame. In 1968, Sally married her high school sweetheart, Stephen Craig, and they had 2 sons, Peter and Eli. But balancing fame, family, and self-discovery proved difficult. By 1975, the marriage had ended. In the late 1970s, she began dating Burt Reynolds, her co-star from Smokey and the Bandit. Their chemistry on screen was undeniable, and fans adored them as Hollywood's golden couple. But behind the charm and laughter was a relationship marked by tension and control. Sally later said that Burt wasn't emotionally healthy for her, and their love, though passionate, left scars. She later married film producer Alan Greisman in 1984, and together they had a son, Sam. Despite happy moments, that marriage also ended in divorce in 1994. Through it all, Sally never lost her devotion to motherhood. Her sons became her grounding force, the one part of her life untouched by Hollywood chaos. A near-death experience that changed everything. In 1988, Sally's life nearly ended in tragedy. She, Alan, and their baby son were aboard a private plane when it lost control during takeoff and collided with another aircraft. Miraculously, no one died. Covered in jet fuel, but still clutching her baby, Sally later said she could only think of protecting her son. "It makes no sense that we're alive," she reflected years later. "I'll carry that feeling with me forever." That experience deepened her gratitude for life and shaped her approach to work and family from then on, rediscovering herself through the work. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, Sally delivered one unforgettable role after another. In Steel Magnolias, she embodied maternal love and grief with raw honesty. In Mrs. Doubtfire, she played the patient but firm mother opposite Robin Williams, a performance full of warmth and humanity. And in Forrest Gump, she was America's mom, reminding us that love, even when imperfect, endures. But behind every award and standing ovation, Sally continued to carry the emotional weight of her past. Acting wasn't just her profession, it was her therapy. Each role allowed her to explore a different part of herself, to transform pain into purpose. When Robin Williams showed his true heart. During the filming of Mrs. Doubtfire in 1993, tragedy struck Sally's personal life. She received a call on set that her father had passed away. Struggling to process her grief, she tried to continue working. But Robin Williams, ever the compassionate friend, noticed something was wrong. He quietly pulled her aside and told her, "We need to get you out of here right now." He arranged for her scene to be rescheduled and made sure she could leave to be with her family. Years later, Sally shared how deeply that moment touched her. "He was so intuitive, so sensitive," she said. "It's a side of Robin few ever saw." When Robin passed away in 2014, Sally said, "He was one of a kind. There will not be another." Facing health challenges in 2005, Sally Field was diagnosed with osteoporosis, a disease that weakens bones. She had no symptoms. It was discovered during a routine test. Instead of hiding it, she became an advocate, launching the Rally with Sally for Bone Health campaign to raise awareness. "I'm trying to get women to ask for a bone density test when they go for their checkups," she said. Her openness helped countless people learn about prevention and treatment for a disease often ignored until it's too late. Even as her condition slowed her down, Sally refused to let it define her. She adjusted her work schedule, took better care of herself, and embraced a slower, more peaceful lifestyle, aging gracefully in a harsh industry. Now in her late 70s, Sally Field continues to stand as a quiet rebel in an industry obsessed with youth. She's never had plastic surgery, never tried to hide her wrinkles, and never apologized for getting older. "I see myself on TV and think, oh, I wish that weren't happening to my neck," she once said with a laugh. "But this is who I am." Her honesty about aging has inspired a new generation of women to embrace their natural selves. Still, social media hasn't always been kind. She's faced cruel comments online about her looks. Yet, as always, Sally remains grounded. After all, she's faced far tougher battles than online criticism. A quiet life, a lasting legacy. These days, Sally Field lives a simple, peaceful life in Los Angeles. She's often spotted walking her dog, wearing comfortable clothes and a bright smile. In 2024, fans noticed she looked thinner, sparking concern, but friends say she's focusing on her health, her family, and the causes she believes in. Her last major movie, 80 for Brady, 2023, reminded audiences of her warmth and humor. Though she acts less often now, her influence is everywhere. She's opened doors for women, spoken bravely about abuse and mental health, and shown that strength doesn't always come from power. Sometimes it comes from persistence. The legacy of Sally Field. Sally Field's story is not about perfection, it's about perseverance. She's lived through heartbreak, public scrutiny, and health battles, yet she continues to stand tall with grace and authenticity. She once said, "Acting saved my life." But the truth is, Sally Field's courage has saved others too. Women who saw their own pain in her honesty, and audiences who found healing in her characters. In an industry that often forgets its veterans, Sally remains a symbol of timeless truth. Talent fades only when passion does, and hers still burns bright. Final reflection. As fans look back on her incredible journey, the laughter, the tears, the triumphs, one thing is certain: Sally Field's life is a story of survival, compassion, and unwavering spirit. Her legacy is not just in the awards she's won, but in the hearts she's touched. And whether she returns to the screen again or not, the world will always remember the woman who showed us that strength doesn't mean never falling. It means always finding the courage to rise again.